up with.
Recording in progress.
Do you want us to put our name and number in the chat?
I got you.
I figured you did.
I don't know how to do it.
Got Mark
Okay.
Seipel, Troop 7.
That's what I want. Okay, Todd Fesh, where are you from? Troop?
Troop 64. Jeff is
64?
on. Yeah,
Yeah.
Troop 60, Arcadia.
I'm not gonna call on him now.
Okay.
Brenda,
That'd be just
Pac
like you.
91?
Thanks, Todd.
No,
Love you,
I'm
man.
Troop
Anytime.
91 now.
Well, you're TNP, right?
Yeah, I'm Troop.
All right, Ted, Troop 110, gotcha. Sue and Toby, what's the troop number? I can't remember.
Troop 110. Oh, wow. Is that the front
15
city?
and 515.
There we go, thank you. Bernie Lentz.
Bernie's Troop 18 Lacrosse.
Thank you. Kevin Wilson.
Troop 18.
Okay, cool. Paul, I got Troop 5.
Correct. Nurson's also here, Troop 5.
Yep.
Troop 77, got you. And Al, which troop are you? Are you just on?
Yeah, I'm just on.
Cool. Glad to have you. All right. Thank you for
Sorry, I
that.
couldn't unmute. Bernie is Troop 18.
Gotcha.
Put Al down as weather forecaster.
It's a dark and stormy night.
Thunder and lightning.
Yes. Okay. All right. Do you want to go ahead then, Joe, and roll the show?
Absolutely.
Nice graphic.
So we're gonna kick this thing off. It's gonna start Friday night. You guys are gonna, the registration booth will be set up roughly at about 4:30, 5 o'clock. It's gonna be set up right at the sort of the gravel road that runs right by the athletic field there. Okay, so you'll check in, we'll confirm your campsite location, any information. I think we'll have handouts and maps and stuff like that. And then there'll be a, sorry, I gotta read my own schedule here. SPL meeting and Scoutmaster meeting at 8:30. So from your arrival until that time, it's your own for setup, camp setup. If you wanna set up your displays, things like that. That evening, starting at about 9 o'clock, or 9:30, sorry, will be troop time and then the standard lights out. Okay. On Saturday, that's sort of the big day, is there'll be check-in time for troops arriving on Saturday. If you're not coming in on Friday night, we ask that you try to be there before 9 o'clock. That's when we're going to do opening flags. And we're also really trying to limit traffic on site. Now in the morning, it's not going to be a big deal, but that afternoon when the Cub Scouts and it really starts getting full, we're really concerned. We want to have no driving through the main parts of camp. Okay. So we're asking everyone, and we'll talk about this in a second, but we'll talk about parking and where we'd like scout leaders to park and that kind of stuff. Friday, if you want to bring up your troop trailers early, that's also encouraged. If you want to try to bring it up before Friday, otherwise try to plan ahead and give time to get up there Friday afternoon to get in, drop your trailer off. We're kind of asking units to park sort of along the power lines, depending on what campsite you're in. Most people are going to probably park around the nature center. Or sorry, the old trading post, excuse me. Otherwise, if you're in some of the campsites out a ways, I know Apache and the Comanche's out that way, it's fine if you want to park kind of in that open area up by your sites. So, this
How do
is
you know? Good question. How do you know what campsite you're getting?
You're going to get that in a second. You hold on.
Oh, right. Okay.
So the Saturday schedule is what you guys see here. And like I said, it's going to kick off with opening flags, and then from about 9 until noon, that's like going to be open time for the Scouts BSA. So they're basically any of the program areas are going to be open for them. They can do whatever they want. A lot of some programming won't start until afternoon. So there's some things that I think we'll be going through, and I'll show you the event map and we can kind of talk through some of this stuff. But there's some shows that are starting in the afternoon that'll be in Doll Hall. And there'll be a lot of different events on the athletic field and stuff like that. So we'll walk through that. There's also going to be a museum that we strongly encourage all the Scouts to attend. And there's going to be a passport that they can complete and fill out that'll also be available to be picked up at this museum. So if they want to start the passport trek, and it's also necessary for them to get, there's a special patch with different sections. And I don't know if, Joe, did you have that on here? Did we want to talk about that?
You know, I can locate the patch and show that later on.
Okay, sounds good. But the museum's going to have sort of roughly 3 parts plus a 4th section outside. This is going to be at Hagerman. So there'll be one about the actual Gateway Area Council, museum itself. So 100 years of history from this council. And then there's going to be the OA Conclave. We'll also have a section. And then the Holman Historical Society also is going to have a display. So there's going to be a lot of stuff. And then we also have one of our troop, as their troop displays, is going to be opening the time capsule, displaying that, and then also showing items to go back into the time capsule for future. Okay, so please encourage your troops to go down there and check that out. Like I said, there'll be the shows in the dining hall. We've got the Raptor group coming from the Raptor Center, and also the Whisk Corps is coming with Critters. So we have to be very careful. We coordinated the shows accordingly so that the Raptors don't eat the critters. And that'll all take place in Dow. We have a fire bowl ceremony that's going to be sort of the big event of the camp. That's going to start at about 5:30. The reason it's so early is because, we're hoping, basically we want to fill the fire bowl area is sort of the goal here. And we're going to have Cub Scouts, parents, adults, visitors, alumni. So it should be quite a show. And along those lines, also, one of the requests, and it's probably in here later too, but one of the requests is we would like to have every troop flag from every unit that's represented to be displayed at that ceremony. So I think what they're planning to do is have a big log laying down behind or on the side of the fire bowl. And they would like every unit to just come forward and plant their flag in this log. It's going to serve as sort of our big flag holder. So it should be a neat display. Okay. So that's one thing to note. Please try to bring your unit flag if you have one.
I got a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Are the troops aware of this? Or are we supposed to be providing this information to them?
Well, they're aware if they're attending the meeting tonight, and we'll send out the recording to those that aren't on the meeting. So.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yep. Yeah, we understand. We also realize that some units might not have troop flags, and that's fine. We're just trying to get people involved and also kind of show, again, 100 years of scouting at Gateway Council and Camp Decorah. All right.
Now, you wanted these for the event at the Fire Bowl is at what time?
It starts at 5:30. Yep. Yeah, so yep. And we'll be giving you a full schedule and the map and all that stuff with your handouts and stuff when you register. So this is just kind of a summary of it. Good questions. And then after the camp show, the idea is the Cub Scouts and their parents will depart. There'll be an OA Cracker Barrel then at Dow Hall. And then there's going to be an astronomy show. Local astronomist is going to come out and set up and hopefully have a clear night. So, yep.
Yes,
so that's,
I hope so too.
yeah. So that's Saturday, and then Sunday, we're just going to have a quick chapel service and then break camp and go spend time with our mothers. So
Yes, I've
Next.
heard about that.
Next slide then. Unless you had something else to add there, Joe?
No, this is
Okay.
perfect.
All right. So for the Camporee, obviously, we've got quite a few units, so there will be some sharing of sites going on, actually quite a bit of sharing of sites. That combined with the logging is going to make for an interesting challenge. This is the first, this will be the first camp or use of camp post logging. So so please note that most of the areas, the general camp areas themselves are cleaned up, and there's some areas you can see, particularly in the middle of camp, you can still see evidence of the logging operation. So not a big, shouldn't be too shocking. Joe, if you click that Centennial Camporee camping, that's a hyperlink. It should open up the spreadsheet. There you go. Yeah. Do you want to let me drive here a second?
Absolutely.
I see a bunch of campsites.
There we go. All right, so this is sort of what we've got drafted out right now for locations. But one of the big things we need to talk about was, and you should have some previous notice of this, or hopefully you saw it, that one of the things we're asking units to do is to have some kind of a scout-based display. It doesn't have to be anything big, but it's something that your unit does well that represents scouting. You know, so for instance, I know there's these are the ones that I know about. Troop 33 is doing a rope bridge demonstration. Troop 91 is actually doing a knot display, and Troop 42 is doing schoolyard compass event, and then Troop 110 is opening the time capsule. So just something that sort of represents. It's not intended to be something that's going to require your full unit to be there all the time. We want, you know, we want the kids to be able to go have fun and experience the event too. But we also want to have something for the Cub Scouts to see and go, hey, that's cool. That might be something I want to pursue in the future. So just sort of displaying the best parts of scouting. So one of the things that I know we need to get more information on is sort of the display areas and where you might possibly want to set these up, or if it's in your campsite, just so we can let the Cub Scouts know where they can go to see what. So I'm not sure, do people have ideas of this? Is this something that's been communicated? Is this something we can go around the horn and get feedback on?
Maybe.
We're
Jeffrey.
planning on bringing our teepee and some Indian lore type of stuff along with us. So
Okay.
I don't know if you got a spot that we can set up that.
Yeah, so right now we've got you in Upper Apache.
Well, we have a spot there, Jeff. We usually, in that one spot there, I suppose we could put it by the campfire.
Well, I'm wondering if it wouldn't be better in like down on the parade field or the athletic field or something like that, so people didn't have to wander all over the camp to come see it. Otherwise, you get it too far away, and
No, that's true.
people are lazy. They don't want to walk very far.
We're trying to do all the displays between Scoutcraft and Council Bay Road. So there's room there for a display. Do you guys have a table, or do you need a table?
Hey, we'll set up the
room.
teepee. Yeah, well, we got some stuff that we can put on it, some beading and some Indian stuff. Can I say Indian anymore? I don't even know. I don't too many rules. Upper Apache, you got 10 tents. Are the tents going to be set up, or we just got to bring our own tents? I guess what's
Tent. You guys are in tent cabins at Apache.
Upper two?
so those are the old wall tents, or they actually built the cabins up there?
Yeah,
I think that's a misprint. I think it should be cabins.
the newer cabins.
Okay.
So we
Yeah.
don't have to set up our own tents.
That's the way she's looking, so.
Okay,
Something to
Yeah.
note is that the cabins no longer provide mattresses in the cabins. So you'll need to bring your own sleeping pad or heavy duffel or something like that.
sure.
Yeah.
Bring a couple extra tents just in case. Be prepared.
Yep, we got our trailer, so.
You got her. All right. So yeah,
Troop-
just let us know ahead of time if you're, if you need space confines, if you want to set up in the athletic field, that's fine. Just we'll find a space. We'll show you where you can't go, but there's plenty of open space there and stuff. Or if you want to be along the road by Cherokee, Chippewa, Scoutcraft, anywhere along that area, that's perfectly fine.
Well, Scoutcraft would work too. That's a nice area over there.
Yeah, on 91 already claimed it.
What about over where they do the, what do they call it? They do the first class, second class tenderfoot area. What is that called over
That's
there?
Brown Sea. Yeah,
Brown
that's
Sea.
claimed.
Being
Yep.
used for Cub Scout shooting sports. So
It's what?
being used for Cub Scout shooting sports.
Ah, okay.
I want to be.
Well, hey, we're easy. I mean, that's my motto, be easy. Hey, wherever works out, as long as,
We
throw
can,
it
we can
down.
do it. The TP goes anywhere.
Yep.
yeah.
Well,
I mean,
We'll have a spot for you when you arrive. We'll have an assignment of where that can be set up at.
Yeah, we'll have it figured
Perfect.
out. So, let's see, I got 91, Troop 7. Do you guys have
I do not know. We keep talking about it, but I've got nothing solid whether we'll have a display or not. We got a
That's all
very
right.
small group.
Yep, that's all right, Mark.
Well, that's fine. Does any other units have? I mean, I can go around the horn, or if you have one, just throw it.
Yeah, Troop 18, we're gonna do high adventure. We'll have a display board of pictures and some of the gear like a canoe and some bikes and some backpacks.
Okay. So maybe you could do something like you guys might be able to set up down by like maybe commissioners area there or something.
Yeah, wherever you tell us, we'll put it.
Yeah, you just need like a picnic table or something. Okay, perfect. Yeah, and you guys know the drill with this. I mean, this is one of those things. It's just going to be, scouts are pretty resourceful and they need to be. All right, very good.
15 and 515 are going to bring backpacking gear to share.
Okay.
Now, Joe, where would you think would be a good place for us to build our rope bridge?
Thinking somewhere along the perimeter of the athletic field.
That one area right across from the pool house. It's kind of flat, that little clearing there.
I'd go over to Black River.
That's close.
I've seen the bridge before. The bridge could probably do it.
There you go.
So are there
All right.
anchor spots there that we could use, or should we use vehicles? Because we can either do it between trees or telephone line posts, or between vehicles.
Yeah, we'll have to work that out. Probably vehicles, but we'll talk. We'll have a team of rangers on standby at the registration. So when we have questions, or if you need tables or something like that, we'll get it figured out. Okay. Anyone else?
So
This is
Troop
Brian.
5. Oh, go ahead, Brian.
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
So Troop 5 is planning on doing a Scout Skills Jeopardy. Well, Scout Knowledge Jeopardy, put it that way.
Okay.
We're putting together a board and going to be setting that up.
Okay. Someone else had one too?
Yeah, this is Brian from Troop 72. We're going to do a cooking experience and make s'mores.
Oh, cool. All right. Okay.
Talk about cooking, may I interject here? we're getting 2 meals. Is that correct for this event?
Correct.
And where and when are those?
Actually, when we get to the map, I'll explain all that, but it's gonna be pretty much running all day.
Food all day, eating all day?
Lunch and dinner.
Okay. All right. Lunch and dinner.
So what we'll do when you guys register, we'll give you the site information, and then we'll give you kind of the general area of the map, and we're just gonna have to work this out as you guys show up and kind of set up. But generally speaking, as Joe mentioned, it's gonna be sort of from the Scoutcraft area all the way down to almost like the pool building. Will be open, and we're just gonna grab spots and kind of spread out so that the scouts or the Cub Scouts know where to go and where you guys can set up. And then it'll be only running probably noon till about 4-ish. So if you want to, divvy up responsibility among your units and have, maybe scouts rotate in and out kind of thing so they can go experience the rest of the event. That's sort of the idea here. So, okay. If you have any other questions before this, let myself know, Joe know, or Dirk DeZau will also be available to help out, and we kind of coordinate this. So
that's a question. So the looking at all the items here, then events are from 4 to supper, or 5 o'clock or something like that, right? Not in, so the morning you'd have time for setup, right? You could.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there'll be some other programs available and open in the morning as well, such as shooting sports is going to be open. There'll be a aviation simulator open, but you'll want to kind of work with your scouts to make plans to get your area set up too.
Okay.
Yep.
If we have scouts to add since we registered, do we want to go back online or do we let someone know?
Yeah, just go ahead and go back online and register any additional scouts or any additional adults the same way that you did that first batch of them. And yeah, keep on adding kids as frequently as people find that their schedule has opened up to be there.
I think the word's getting out of how good of an event you guys are putting on here.
It's certainly growing. We're getting more numbers, so that's a good thing. It's a good problem to have. That's what we
I
want.
like the TV ads too. That helps.
Yeah. So, as you all, oops, sorry.
Troop 77's on for demonstrating how to set up a dining fly.
Okay, cool.
Good idea. Question?
And sorry, that one might actually work really well right near Scoutcraft, kind of in that clearing area. That might actually work well. And then for the 2 units that are doing cooking displays, that might be something we could actually employ. So,
yeah.
Sorry. Okay. So anyone else?
Yeah, I had a question about everybody when they register, the young people at the Scouts are getting shirts and a patch and all this sort of thing. Are there any neckerchiefs involved in this event?
No neckerchiefs at this time. There will be some other items available in the trading post, some other kind of.
Yeah, because it seems like I got a load of neckerchiefs from way back. It seems like that's always kind of fun. T-shirts, I got so many T-shirts, but the kids probably don't have as many, but that's fine. I just thought I'd ask.
Yeah, we've got mostly with the commemoration with the patches and the T-shirts was really kind of the main drive here.
Okay.
Yep. So, all right, this so these assignments, I think we can probably send out a blast email and let everybody know once we get this finalized. We've got a few more units coming in and stuff, so we're just waiting to make sure before we send the final out. So
yeah, probably look for something on like Tuesday, late in the day Tuesday from us with the kind of more detail on the location of your display and things like that.
Yep. And then the other thing is if there's no major objections, if nobody has any objections to their sites, then we'll move on here. So I just wanted you to be able to see this.
Will the water be turned on, right?
Yes.
Yes. Yep.
Great.
Yep. Okay. All right. if there's no other questions, then we'll go ahead and get back onto the. So if you want to go ahead to the next slide then. Yes, we kind of talked about some of this, but some items to bring. So obviously health forms, one per scout. Now, how are we going to handle the health forms? Sort of like any other camporee. Unit leader, do you have 15 kids? Do you have 15 health forms? Yes, good. Hold on to them. Okay, that's it. That's the expectation. So please have your kids fill out their health forms or have the parents fill out the health forms. Keep them on your person, but we're not going to collect them. We're not going to go through them. Okay, any questions on that?
Yeah, I got a question on that one in health forms, you know, Troop 110 here. You know,
Yep.
we've only got kids coming for the day. I've got 3 Cub Scouts coming for the day. And we head back on Saturday, hopefully after the campfire. I'm not even sure if we can pull that off. Do you really want me to collect health forms from every kid?
Should
Is
have.
that realistic if you want to have people attend?
At least, you know, if you're coming for the day, it should at least be part A, which the parent can fill out. So if you're coming for just the day, it doesn't need to be actually for any of you because the event's less than 72 hours. It can be the short version of the health form, the portion the parent fills out. But we do need to know, you know, medical history for somebody or if they have allergies or medication concerns.
Sorry, yeah, good point. The part C does not need to be completed with the full physical and the filled out by a physician for this. No. So just A and B.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah, I know it's a drain and it's but to Joe's point, that's kind of the point is if kid has an allergy attack or something like that, and we have to do something. So
bring your EpiPens.
any other questions? Okay. We already mentioned the troop flag and then troop flag or unit flag. And then we also would like, you know, it's a BSA uniform for the Saturday campfire. And that would be a Class A. All right. Moving on, Joe, that link down there is the event map. Eventually. There we go. So yeah, you should be able to zoom in on it here somewhere. There you go, down at the bottom. So this is sort of laid out. You all get a copy of this, and it kind of walks through, but the key there on the right side sort of lays out all the different parts. But as I mentioned, the museum and the time capsule and all that stuff will be done by Hagerman. The parking lot area denoted with the stripes, that's going to be for Cub Scout parking, Cub and Cub parent parking, and or you know, people doing the events and or staffing the different activities. Okay. As you can see, a lot of stuff sort of takes place around the athletic fields. So we had, as I mentioned, we've got the River Valley Raptors and the Wiscore Crittermobile are going to be in Doll Hall. So Doll will be set up with a bunch of chairs and they're going to kind of rotate in and off the stage. I think the schedule right now is, and I don't remember the order, but I think the shows are going to start around 12:30-ish. And then they're going to go like every other hour. And they're going to run 2 times each. So to take us up to about 4:30. But that'll be on the schedule you guys get when you register. I'm just going to roll down the list. So we've got the La Crosse Fire Department. They're going to be there with they're going to have a truck and also a trailer that they use for training purposes. We've got the Civilian Air Patrol. They're going to be there with a flight simulator that's going to be set up on the side of Doll. They're also going to be doing balsam wood gliders. I think for the Cubs. I'm not sure if that's for the Scouts BSA. There's going to be a flag etiquette station set up around flags. It's going to be run by some volunteers. We're going to have the Mississippi Valley Amateur Radio Association. They're going to be set up. They're going to have a big bus that's got their ham radio set up, and then they're going to be setting up a big antenna and broadcasting around the world. We're going to have the Scouts BSA display area is denoted on the map here, number 11. I don't know, Joe, if you want to, I can do that down here. So this is sort of, like I said, this area is going to be set aside for the Scouts BSA displays, but if it sprawls a little bit down in here, that's fine.
So units can put up there. For instance, our teepee, we might, if Jeff, we decide we want to put it there rather than up in Apache campsite.
That's
right?
fine. Yep. And that's okay. As long as it's not spoken for with some other event, you're good to go. I'm going to rattle through these really quick. 12 and 13, we're going to have an actual blacksmith come in and set up, and he's going to do a display. And then 13 is going to be a leatherwork stamping run by our own Elias Ellison. Down here, we are going to have the rifle range open. We don't know how long we're going to have a rifle range master, but we know for sure right now between, I think it's 9 to 12, and he may be coaxed to stay longer. I guess we'll have to see. If you want to go back up, Joel, then, oh, too far, kind of put me in the middle there. There you go. So you can kind of see the symbol, the truck symbol here. There's 3 different trucks. Basically, we're going to have mobile food stations going on. One of them is, it's going to be interesting. You'll see. I'm not going to ruin the surprise. They're kind of cool. But basically, each one is going to specialize in a different food, and they're going to be open. The Scouts, when they register and you get the registration packets, are going to have food tickets. And again, we are realistic. We know that the Scouts are Scouts and they're going to lose these, but for the most part, we wanted to keep track of them. No kid's going to be turned away for food, but we wanted to keep track of how many kids are eating and what they're eating and stuff. So you should have sort of 2 tickets per kid, and they should be able to go and redeem these at any of these food carts. And there'll be different meals. It'll be like burgers and chips and stuff like that, or hot dogs. There's going to be, I think, walking tacos is one of the things, and there's just a bunch of different stuff. So a lot of the food items were donated, so it was actually a really, really cool thing that we could do this. And then I think the idea is one of the trucks will also be down closer to the walk up to the fire bowl. Yeah, down there. So towards the end of the day, if it's running late or kids are at last minute hungry before the show, they can grab some stuff to go in and eat while they're watching the fire bowl event. All right. Let me get back on track then with the numbering. So we got the treehouse is going to be going and open for display. Number 15 is the Naval Sea Cadets are going to be there doing a display in a water tank with it's like underwater robot kind of things they got. So it's supposed to be really cool. I let Dirk talk about it. He's seen it. 16 is going to be the fire building station, and then 17 the schoolyard compass. 19 Gaga Ball will be open. 20 we are going to have the Sparta ambulance there, both in service but also doing a first aid display. We have them noted strategically situated near 21, which is the shooting sports area for the Cub Scouts. So we'll have slingshots, archery, BB guns. 22, 23, the nature center will be open for display, but they'll also be doing a GPS course throughout camp. And what else did I miss? There'll be fishing open at the waterfront. So there'll be staff on hand. So if people want to go down and fish, they can. There's going to be poles available. The Scouts BSA, the rifle range will be open, as we mentioned. And then I think getting down into the fire bowl and the Sunday chapel. Yeah. Oh, and I forgot the astronomy club will be set up somewhere, and we'll know the location where he wants to set up depending on conditions. We'll have that Saturday night. So as you can see, we got a lot of stuff jam-packed into one day.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a jamboree all in one day.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So as I mentioned, you will all get a copy of this map. We'll probably give you multiple copies so that you can distribute it to your Scouts. And like I said, we'll be going over this again at the Scoutmaster Senior Patrol Leader meeting on Friday evening. Okay. Are there any questions on this quick? Okay, you want to jump back over, Joe?
Yep.
Cool. That was the last slide.
We can take any other questions. I'll try and locate the patch design here so we can show that to folks and kind of see what's going on with that.
One thing I will mention is, and I don't know if many people remember it, but back in like, I think it was 2013, I believe, or 2014, there was a spring camporee called Trailblazers that was council sponsored out at Camp Decorah. And it was actually a really neat event. That was part of the inspiration for this event was that it was like, here's a chance we can fill up Camp Decorah and have all our council units in camp at the same time, or most of them. Because a lot of these kids never, a lot of these units never interact across district lines. So it was sort of neat to see that, all our kids utilizing the property. So that's what we're hoping for, that this event will also sort of bring that camaraderie and that same experience. So stay tuned for more. But I think the campfire event's going to be really spectacular. There's gonna be a lot of cool things going on. The OA is going to do a display. And I think we're going to actually do a tap out. Is that right?
Yeah, there'll be a call out. So if your unit hasn't had an election and you want one, get in touch with Glenn Walensky, Lodge Advisor, and they can maybe pull one off for you Friday night or maybe between the event or something. So I think they're pretty motivated to help get kids inducted that are eligible.
Yeah. But the biggest thing for this event is, hey, look, we've all had the last 2 years. We'd all rather not talk about it. And we want to come out with a bang. It's like, we'd like this to be sort of the event. Hey, we're back and let's get back to what we do, camping and enjoying outside. So.
Want to kind of touch on that passport, each of your scouts. So, let's say you have 15 scouts coming from Troop 77, there'll be 15 passports for your scouts to go and pick up on Saturday morning down at the museum. We're, asking for that to happen, each scout picking it up individually. That way they do get into that museum area to see it. And then their passport, as you've seen at other events, you get each station kind of checked off as you go around through the day. Then they'll turn those in at the end of the day to receive the final version of the patch.
So while Joe's looking, I'm going to pull up the patch. Was there any questions, any other general questions at all?
I'm going to go back to that, clarify again on that one. We're in a tent site. Did you say will there be provided tents or we bring our own?
If you're in a tent site, plan to bring your own, please.
For sure.
Not a problem. I'm just making sure.
Yeah. And chances are we wouldn't want you to have to, the other tents, the camp tents have not probably been set up, dried out, that kind of thing yet. So
I agree. That's why I was preferring to bring my own.
Yeah, I would prefer you bring your own too. So that'll be yeah. So actually,
those camp tents with them big wolf spiders in them. Yeah, I had enough of those days.
That's mandatory. You can't go to Camp Decorah without having those.
They eat mosquitoes.
Yeah. So
mosquitoes are. Oh, go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, what we're looking at an event patch, and then there's actually 3 different rockers. Your scouts will receive as part of their passport different ways they can earn these rockers through the day, and then it all kind of gets put together, at the end for their own patch for the event. But I wouldn't leak that to your scouts. Let them discover that as part of the day.
Yep. So any other general questions, comments?
Trading post will be open all day, right?
Yeah, and it'll actually be the new trading post.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes. And we're still gonna have camp memorabilia there, right?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. Kind of thought so.
And there'll probably be the usual sugary snacks and candy bars and whatnot for kids to get hyped up on. Yeah. The only thing I would like to mention, and you're all leaders and kind of know what's been going on in the last 2 years. And I mean, I just want to point out, a couple things. The logging at camp was a huge undertaking. We've had many people, and many of you have been out there and volunteered, and I've seen it. It's like the property's changed. But it's okay. It's good. One of the things I can say is the mosquitoes are going to definitely be down this year because we burned so many red pine branches and stuff. They'll keep the numbers down and keep them at bay for a while. But it's going to be different. But like I said, I want to thank. There's a lot of people that helped out and cleaned up, and it was just a massive effort. And it's been sort of months in the making. So kudos to everyone that helped out for that. And, also, like I said, COVID the last 2 years has sort of put a damper on a lot of things. So like I said, we want to encourage a good experience, and, we want the kids to have fun. So, and the adults, but not too much fun. Jeff.
Look forward to seeing everybody in a little bit over a week. It's going to be an awesome event. Big thanks to Todd for all his leadership on it, and the other members of the planning committee, and to Todd for facilitating tonight's meeting.
A comment, now the night before, there's a big hoopla at, where is that again? It's a downtown. No, it's not at camp. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, that's at the Lacrosse Center, Todd Fetch. So yeah, there's
Right.
still a few seats left at that if anyone's interested in doubling their fun.
Yeah, it should be interesting. So like I was telling Jeff, I'd probably go to that, and that'll be in the morning. I'd show up to help with the scouts. So we'll talk about that at our meeting. So, but we're going to be getting a kind of a mailer, so we have some kind of a directive type of a thing to be prepared, right?
Yeah, you'll be getting an email probably on Tuesday. Same thing for the Camporee. We'll send out a briefing email Tuesday or Wednesday confirming, campsites, display locations, final updates. Keep registering your kids as those registrations come in, and let us know in questions too.
Great.
All right. Well,